right, all right, all right. It's Friday night. Drink them if you got them. It is October 30th, 2020. Also known in the United States as Devil's Night. I don't know if that's a widespread thing, but we have a tradition over here in the States, particularly in the area I live, of burning things down to the ground on this evening. And the police are out in force along with a bunch of volunteers to make sure nothing important gets burned down. So we'll see what happens tonight. Always something interesting happening over here, especially in the cities. Well, you never know what's going to happen on Friday night, and tonight is just the same. I see we've got some people in Discord already, so we're ready to go. And I need to do my plugs, of course. Now, someone accused me of begging for people to, what is it called? Subscribe to my channel. And that's true. I do beg for people to subscribe to my channel, the Brandon Toy channel on YouTube. So let me plug that right into the thing. And if you haven't subscribed to it yet, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to it. I'm happy to be called a beggar. Why isn't this working? There we go. No. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's an interesting evening already. Okay. There we go. And sorry about that delay there. There's the channel. Please head on over there. Just subscribe real quick. Come back. I'd appreciate it. Also, if you want to support the show, besides bringing in your observations, your discussion, joining the Discord, whatever, you can do it in several different ways. One of them is new. It's Streamlabs. And you just go to this website, fill it out, and then it will charge your PayPal, I think it is. And you'll get a neat little thing on the screen like this one from Grave Dodger last night. Should show up on the screen. It'll say your name, what you donated.
Great show, team.
And it'll say whatever you put in there. There is a filter, so I think you can't, put any profanity or anything in there, but that's how that works. Also, PayPal, Patreon, all that crap is in the description, so go ahead and use that if you feel the need to. If not, come on in and join the Discord. It's very lively on show nights. Let me tell you something. If anybody listens to the after shows, they're typically pretty good. And people seem to have a habit of getting stuff off their chest in the after show that they don't want to bring into the actual show. So if you want to catch that, go over to my channel, and I post those usually every day, depending on what happens in the after show. Some stuff is even beyond my willingness to put out on the internet. But let's see here. What else do we got to start off with? I think that's enough plugs. Let's go ahead and see who is in the Discord and what they're up to. Good evening. What's going on?
Hello.
Hey, Bob. Looks like hey, you're actually the only one in here right now. How about that?
It's because I'm awesome.
You are awesome. Yeah. Rob's in here, but he's deafened and he's got his microphone muted.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll be popping in every once in a while. So Bob, now's your time to say whatever the hell you've been wanting to say and keep getting interrupted or bring up any subject that you want without anybody stomping on it. So you're on
we
the spot,
got to do something about these Jews, man. I tell you right now. No,
oh, shit.
Just messing with you. Just kidding.
Backfired big time.
You said I could talk about anything I want.
I did say that. You're right. It's malicious compliance. So what's going on, man? What's new in your world?
Oh, not a whole lot, actually. I just got this new game called Watch Dogs Legion, and it's interesting. They're kind of got these themes about like uploading yourself into the cloud and trying to live forever, and everybody's being watched all the time. Everyone's information is available electronically, and I don't know. It's almost like it's kind of what we're possibly moving towards. It's interesting.
What is this? This is a show or A video game you're
It's
talking
a
about?
video game. It's called Watch Dogs Legion, and it takes place in London, but it's kind of like this almost futuristic, not super futuristic, just like a little bit in the future, where basically everybody's information is like accessible by hackers like all the time. And I've played, like, I haven't played through the whole thing or anything, but like one of the themes or things that they've already kind of dug into is this concept of like eventually like somebody mapping every part of the brain or whatever electronically using code and stuff like that, and basically taking the brain and all of its functions and then like uploading it into the cloud so that you can, the idea is live forever. You don't die anymore because you're uploaded digitally or whatever, which I don't think is something that's possible, but it's an interesting thing to think about.
No, it sure is. And there was an episode of Black Mirror that was somewhat like that. Do you know what I'm talking about? Black Mirror?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Did you see that episode where basically when you're getting close to dying, they upload you into the cloud and, you can live forever. And I always thought, well, that's not really you living forever. That's just some algorithm that they based on you
Right.
that is living.
Well, and see,
You're going to
that's
die.
they started. That's what the lady it's a lady that came up with this idea in the game, and she started her talk off with this idea that everything that you are is in your brain. You are these signals firing off in between your ears, and of course right away it's like, well, no, you're not. That's not you. That's your brain. That's your body, and that's some of your functions, but that's not you. Okay. But I think that's the premise that they build from, is the idea that whatever you are, it is in the brain somewhere, and if they can just map it, they'll have you, and they'll be able to upload you. That's basically why I don't think it's possible. Is I don't agree with the fact that your brain is you. I think your brain is part of your body, and it's actually separate and apart from you. I think there's you, and then I think there's the physical part of you. I think there's at least two yous.
Yeah, me too. And I'm just thinking, if I made a copy of you, let's say I could recreate every single cell, every neuron, every single memory, and I created an exact replica of you right now, and then blew the original's brains out, you'd be dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the consciousness, how do you transfer the consciousness from one to the other? Like you can make an exact copy, and maybe it would be like, even if you could theoretically get it to learn and adapt and just do everything a normal human would do, how would you have gotten the consciousness part from one to the other? You wouldn't have. You would have just made a copy, and the copy would have just been living now.
Yeah, that's interesting. I see SE joined us. What do you think about that, SE? Is that La La Land for you, or you want to be copied and live on, or what?
Oh, it's La La Land, all right.
It's a very fascinating, very intriguing. This is what all the bigwigs. That's their game plan. Like, for example, Disney froze his head, right? Cryogenics. That's what these guys want. They want eventually to transplant their brain, their self, into a robot or into another body. They don't care. They'll kill anybody. That's the game plan.
That's creepy as hell. Yeah, I've read about that cryogenics. There's a facility near me in Michigan that's big into the cryogenics, and it's weird because
you pay. Sorry, Brandon.
You have to sign up for that, right? I think this is maybe where you were going, and you have to pay so much up front, and then as soon as you die, your family or whoever you've got designated to take care of your body has to like pack you on ice and get you there as fast as possible so they can free you, so there's not too much brain damage.
Exactly. Two reasons for that. One is the brain transplant. That's the ultimate goal. But the secondary, well, actually, the first one is, say you have a disease like cancer, uncurable now. They believe if they find a cure in the future, they can thaw you out and cure you. But the problem is, this is the killer that they can't clinch, is when a human cell freezes, when it thaws out, it crystallizes. Your blood crystallizes and all your liquids, and it just tears you apart. Unlike a frog, for example, which you can freeze it solid, knock on it, and then it thaws out. So they're doing research, but they've been doing this for like 50 years. So far, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been able to bring a person back to life, obviously. And I just I don't know if that's ever going to be possible, but who knows? I mean, just think if technology advanced, if we actually managed not to blow ourselves up and kill everybody and, you know, screw the whole planet up in a couple thousand years based on the rate of technology that we've got in the last 150, supposedly, what the hell will we be able to do then? So who knows? I mean, they could, it could work, but I know I don't want to be copied, and I don't think I want my body to be frozen and just lying around for a long time.
Yeah, it's astonishing, fascinating though, if you think about it.
Yeah, no, it is interesting.
Because, like you guys were saying, if our brain is separate, I mean, if our existence is separate from our brain matter, right? Who knows one day if they can figure out how to download. I'm just speculating here now, but I find it fascinating anyway.
Yeah. Oh, this is the one that's by me. This is the Cryonics Institute. It's a Michigan corporation. It's like not that far from me, actually. Yeah. Weird stuff. I bet you there's some interesting stuff if you want to read through it. But it does seem like the elites are obsessed with all this crap. What is it called? Melding machine
Eternal
and man.
life. Even in the old days, Brandon, with we were talking about it the other day, the Philosopher's Stone. All these guys, these metal guys, they were trying to find this magical stone that is immortality. That's, when you have everything, when you're rich, right? And you have everything, you have enough money for multiple lifetimes. What more can you ask for? It's the ultimate.
Yeah, because you get a certain billions of dollars. What the hell do you care? And money isn't even a concern. You just walk around, and it's probably more of a pain in the ass to pay for something than it is to, give them the money. So yeah, that's the thing maybe we don't understand. I think someone was talking about this the other day, how we don't understand what it's like to be in that kind of position. And I'm not making excuses for the elite at all. But I mean, in reality, I have no idea what it's like not to struggle and have anything I want and more than I could ever spend,
Yeah.
But anyway, so what's going on with you, SE? What's new, man?
Everything good. You were on. We were listening to Jose's show today.
Yeah.
Saw you in the chat.
Yeah. They were giving you hell.
There's this guy. You know Master Kali.
Yeah.
That clown show.
Yep.
Well, we've had like a lot of conversations in the past, but today he has some sort of beef. He wants to debate, and I'm a coward, and we're cowards. And hey, dude, I'm calling you out. You're a coward. I debated you on Jose's show many, many times. You know that. But you're a coward because you're afraid to come here. And when you do, I'm going to shatter your ISS live in front of everybody, coward. You've been called out.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to, the rest of us can go on mute or be quiet or whatever. So you and Master Khalik can have a one-on-one if that's what he wants to do. Or, I mean, if he thinks he can handle the whole panel, I'll try to moderate the best I can. But he's more than welcome to come here. That's what I said to him. He said, why don't you hop on and tell me how far away the sun is and some other shit. And, I was thinking to myself, well, you know where to find me 5 days a week now, 3 hours a day. I'm a captive audience here. So if you really want to debate me, come on in. So yeah, I don't know how to get a hold of the guy, but
I don't know what's wrong with the dude, because I've debated many times. I've talked with him many times on the ISS, but I don't know. He seems to be getting brave lately. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's what he was saying too. He was saying, how is the ISS? Tell me what holds the ISS up. Tell me what holds the moon up. Why does the moon float, essentially? Like, well, dude, I know you guys like to pretend like you have all the answers in the world and that you know everything and you're the pinnacle of all knowledge. But I don't go around pretending to know shit that I don't know.
And that's still he's still got how many assumptions built into his question by saying, "Tell me how the moon stays up." Hey, dude, how about you prove that the moon is up? How about you prove that that moon is like a physical object? How about you show anything about the moon other than, look, the moon? Like, that's all you actually have is the same thing everybody else has. Look, there's the moon.
Right.
Yeah, and we know he's going to say one word, and that word is, everybody together, gravity.
Gravity. Of course. It has to be gravity. I mean, obviously, that's the magic that keeps everything floating and rotating and spinning around and not colliding into each other. Duh. Silly us. They've got a name for their magic spell. I guess,
Yeah.
we should get a name for what we think it is. Does that make a difference? But, those questions, we get the same questions constantly. What is the sun? How far away is the sun? Why is there a sunset? How come you can see the sun at this angle when you're in the southern hemisphere? And it's just like, after a while, after you look into them and, debunk a lot of them or realize that none of them falsify the flat earth or prove the globe, it gets a little old, man. And there's people who follow you around and ask you the same freaking question for years.
Yeah, like he thinks he has something, Gravity, yeah. Hey, Master Kali, you've been called out, boy. You is a coward.
Hello?
Yeah, and he said something about, I won't go in there to that echo chamber. I gotta say, I don't really think this is an echo chamber. We got people that are at each other's throats all the time. Echo, now it's an echo chamber. What's up, Rob?
Yeah, we fight with each other all the time.
Hell yeah.
You guys hear me or no?
Oh yeah. Hey, what's going on, Rob?
Hey, just saying what's up.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Cool.
clear yet.
We
should get back into yesterday's conversation about heliocentrism being the religion of the day.
Yeah, you're interested in that? I've been thinking about that too since yesterday. That's a good idea, but just to put a fine point on this Master Clique thing, come on in. The door's open. We'll, like I said, I'll mute everybody. You can talk to whoever you want. It's fine. We'll be nice. We can disagree and have a discussion about stuff, and you can ask your, soul crushing questions or whatever they are. And the same goes for anybody. I know Jose himself was complaining because we were meanies to him last time he was in here, but I don't think we were that bad. Aaron was trolling him. Aaron trolls everyone. And what he said was actually true, that Jose does go to other places and use it for content on his show. So what? Oh, whatever. Anyway, doors open, guys. Yeah, so Rob, you got an opinion on that heliocentrism thing? Oh, you must be busy.
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
Since we don't have anything to talk about, did you see the post I made in the general?
Let me see here. In general?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long ago was it?
5:10.
5:10. Okay, let me bring it up. This tank looking thing.
Actually, it's a pole, an aluminum pole with a drawing on it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. What's this?
The other day, I was walking down the street and I saw a surveyor. So I walked up to him and I asked him, let me ask you, I go to him, is the earth flat or round? Like I made a gesture to him. He goes to me, round, of course. And I go to him, when you make your measurements, right? How could it be round if you keep going, And he goes to me, look, I'll show you. I don't know if you see the circle that he drew there.
Yeah.
Then he drew like the triangle, right?
Okay.
Then I asked him, but hold on. If let's say now we drop a plumb and we do a perpendicular and we make a straight line and we extend that line all the way, wouldn't the line go into space? And he looks at me and he goes, yep. This took like 45 seconds and he drew the line there. You see from the top of the circle
Yep.
going out? That's from a surveyor in Montreal, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't believe it.
So what is the triangle supposed to be? That's supposed to be his plum,
Well, he
or
was
what?
trying to show me how things are straight on a circle.
Oh, okay.
Like how they calculate, like how straight is.
Yep.
And then I asked him, well, if we drop a plumb bob and we do a perpendicular and we extend the line out, and it took him 3 seconds. He just, when somebody looks up, they're thinking, and he goes, yep, you're right, and he drew the line because it'll go straight into space. So I go to him, think about it, and he looks at me and goes, okay, and I walked away. This took like 45 seconds, a minute.
Well, that's cool. Flat smacking a surveyor.
I found that interesting.
You listened to Witsit on against the main surveyor, didn't you? I don't know if I asked you yesterday if you listened to
we
that.
talked about it. Yeah, he made him look like a fool. He asked him the circumference of the Earth, and he didn't know it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember
We
you
should
mentioning it.
replay his rap.
Oh yeah, the
Let's
rap was
replay
good
his rap.
too.
Yeah, I love that. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to find that. We could play that.
If Austin's career doesn't work out, he could always become an auctioneer.
That guy's got some talent. I mean, he can really talk and think quickly. He's pretty good.
And talk fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. I see we're joined by Carlos. What's up, Carlos?
What's up, Carlos?
Hey, Carlos, he's got guts, unlike Master Khalid. Coward.
He must be working too. Everybody's working. There was.
I'm installing an alarm in his pickup truck right now.
Oh, okay. All right. One thing I've been meaning to look into is this claim about the southern stars. We talked about this not too long ago. How on the globe, the direction of the sunrise and sunset. Has anybody looked into that in depth? Have you guys seen this supposed debunk of flat Earth that people bring up?
Personally, I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
What's it called?
It doesn't matter. They're lights in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've seen it a
You're gonna
couple
tell me
times.
lights in the sky create curvature under my feet? Is that what you're gonna
Nope.
tell me? Okay, good. Thank you.
Do you know? Are you familiar with that supposed proof, Carlos? Maybe you can explain it to us.
I'm familiar with that you have the stars, the South Pole.
Is Carlo low to everybody or just me?
I'm
I
turning
guess-
them up.
No, he's low. He's low.
How about now? Sorry, my phone's over here in the
Oh, that's good now.
That's better.
away from. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, like I said, I'm working on this time of the day, and so I'm in and out. But anyway, yeah. So basically, on a sphere, you will have, you have the northern star, and although the stars rotate around it, then you have, of course, the southern star, and the stars rotate the opposite way around it. Well, that wouldn't be possible if the sky was rotating over a flat surface. You wouldn't have two poles, rotating like that. I guess that's the claim. So.
Okay. Yeah, this one I'm talking about was about the direction of the sunrise and sunset.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I see that.
Well,
I know
Ranty.
Oh, go ahead.
was gonna say, I know that people have been wanting to see a 24 hour sun Australia or whatever, or the South Pole, and somewhat. So apparently nobody's been delivered.
Yeah, I've looked into that quite a bit. Well, we're getting echo bad.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. I've looked into that quite a bit, the 24-hour Antarctic sun videos, and I haven't been too impressed by them. They're always an issue or from an untrustworthy source or something looped. So I haven't seen one where I'd go, oh yeah, that's hard to explain, because every time you dig into them, you see the shadows jump around. There are obvious cuts in it. I don't know why it's so hard to get a good, consistent 24-hour sun video that we can watch. If it happens all the time, right? It's supposed to happen for how many months during the year? And there's always a ton of people working down there.
Well, there's not a high demand on that other than the flat Earth, globe Earth discussion. The people over there seem having other priorities, I guess. It's the same reason why we don't have a lot of things like a seamless, no cut, video from a rocket taking off and going into microgravity and stuff like that.
Right.
Microgravity. What's that?
Okay, alleged microgravity. Is that better?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Thanks, Carlo.
Excellent. Now, I've realized that if I say alleged and supposed, I can just move on these flat Earth groups.
Well, yeah, because claims made without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
Right. Well, like I said, I'm not making a claim. Like I said, I'm giving an explanation of something. So, and just like I do, somebody's gonna say, "What do you mean by that? What is this?" So, anyway, no problem. It's just funny.
Yeah, but that's how we get clarification on all these issues.
Yep, exactly. I relate.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I made a video a while back with the 24-hour sun. Do you have one that you would consider reliable, Carlos?
Me? Well, what I would consider reliable will get scrutinized regardless. But no, I haven't done the search on that myself. Although I think it is pretty interesting. If you do have,
hang on. We as individuals should not be afraid of scrutiny.
I'm not afraid of it. I'm just stating the fact.
We should be scrutinizing everything that we are told, because that's how we got into this mess in the first place. That's how we're on a flat Earth Discord channel right now.
Yeah, that's we have the same attitude towards the debunking of the heliocentric model. And whenever I scrutinize something, let's say deep inside the rabbit hole, David Weiss's so-called sun fading out, then all I am is a troll, or according to them, or I just don't want to believe. And it's like, well, I'm just scrutinizing, saying that there's a reason why this and that. Anyway, so yeah, that's just how it goes.
Do you want to go over that? Like, because I can't seem to find a problem with the sun fade out. So if you've got an issue with the sun fade out, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. All right, I got about 10 minutes here that I can give you here. So all right, so the footages of it's a drone, it's a Mavic.
Can Brandon
Pro.
bring up that sun fade out?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
Play along.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're familiar with the multi-rotors or drones, you know that's a Mavic Pro, which has what's called it doesn't have it has an adjustable focus, so you can focus for very nice close-ups, and you adjust that by tapping the screen or going to the manual settings and just manually changing the focus, right? So he was using a filter. It wasn't a solar filter. He was using a neutral density filter. I think maybe it's a 1/4. I can't remember. Anyway, so he was high up, and he was trying to videotape the capture the sun setting. Well, if you look at that video, you see that as the sun is setting behind what seems to be mountains or clouds, you see that every line on that video, as it crops in digitally, it's blurry and there's no sharp defined lines. So that tells me that it's most definitely out of focus. And then you see the sun, which it's obviously an artifact of lens flare. So it doesn't have a perfectly circular, circle. You can see the edges are a bit brighter, and the center is not. And as the sun just finishes setting down, you see that artifact of lens flare just fading out. And yeah, clearly, like I said,
So where's the actual sun then? So if we're just seeing lens flare, where is the sun?
I'm not even looking at what you're presenting. Let me look.
Oh yeah, I'm sharing.
I'm not looking at
There you
anything,
go.
but I've seen the video numerous times. I just
The sun is out of focus. How about that?
It's out of focus, but it's still there. You're still viewing the sun fade out.
Okay, let me ask you this: why are the mountains blurry?
I don't care. I'm not looking at the mountains. I'm looking at the sun.
Not out of focus. What? No, look at if you look at the horizon. Why is that horizon the mountains or the land? Why is it blurry? And why is everything
does the
blurry?
sun ever go below the horizon?
Yes.
Does the lens flare ever go below the horizon? I don't remember seeing that.
Look at that. You see that lens flare just fading out.
Hang on.
It's blurry. Look at that.
Let me see if I can understand what you're saying.
Okay,
you're saying that because
I'm okay with blurry.
Yeah, because it's blurry and it's a little out of focus, obviously.
It just disappears.
You're saying that because it's blurry, you're not seeing the real sun. You're seeing lens flare actually that stays up after the sun goes behind the mountain or whatever. Is that what you're saying?
Damn.
No,
man. I don't know about that.
What I'm saying is that it's clearly the lenses are out of focus. Otherwise, you would get a sharper horizon there, and things would look a lot sharper. When the sun sets,
the sun
clearly
never sets. It disappears.
Okay, when the alleged setting of the sun happens, you can see it's a circle going under a line, right? So you go from the circle, then it's being, halfway, and then you're getting a half a circle, then a quarter, and so on and so forth, right? And it's a very distinctive shape. You're not getting that. All you're getting is it's a bright circle, and then it starts fading. A blurry bright circle starts fading out. As it's about to fade out completely, you can see it's not a completely solid circle, and it's blurry, and it just fades out. It's clearly a out of focus lens.
What does out of focus have to do with it, though? I mean, let's say you have
I'm still trying to figure out what focus has to do with the sun just disappearing as a full circle.
Yeah, does that cause the sun flare to be in let's say if it was in focus, what would we see differently, in your opinion?
You would probably see at your standard sunset, where it's a circle being eclipsed by the horizon. I say eclipsed, being obstructed by the horizon. You go, quarter of a circle is being occluded, then half of a circle, and then another. You get that very distinctive shape. You're not getting down that, and it's blurry. Everything else is blurry. I mean, that's a big giveaway. If you work with optics, cameras, video equipment, try with your camera. If you have a camera where you can actually change the focus manually, and zoom into a very tiny light, and then start varying the focus, and you clearly see as soon as you're getting out of focus, you start getting that artifact, and it's you're getting that circle. Just like that in there. And if you were to fade out that light, then you guess what? You get a circle that fades out just like that. You know, and that's all I can say. If you don't think the lens is out of focus, then explain to me why the horizon is so blurry.
No, I'm not disagreeing that it's out of focus, honestly, because it does look like that the horizon is blurry and even the sun is blurry. I can see that.
Oh, look at that. Oh, back up a little bit. What was that? That transition, or was it? Yeah, but anyway.
Well, what did you see that was interesting?
Yeah, research Mavic, the Mavic Pro, and do check that it is a adjustable focus that you have. In fact, when the Mavic Pro was sent out to be tested by multiple people, everybody thought that the reason why the footage looked blurry was because it was 4K, and whenever it was down the resolution changed down to 1080p, that was some sort of effect that was making it look blurry. But what it was is people weren't aware that you could actually change the focus by tapping on the screen. So, you know, it's a very well-known issue with the Mavic Pro. So, especially if you have it.
Yeah, but what? Oh, we must have lost you on audio. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That is an interesting one, but I do have, can you guys still hear me in the Discord?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
A fading sun. There's people who live in high altitudes. There's people who film the sunset in airplanes, 40,000 feet. We've never seen a sun fading out, but somehow David Wise with his drone going up 400 or 500 feet, somehow he captured the sun fading out. And I think it's a bias here that you know, that because he's a flat earther, you know, then this is true or whatever. But I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't realize it, but it was out of focus.
Well,
Anyway.
I got to tell you, I actually tend to agree with you on this one, Carlos. And here's why. I could be wrong too. You got the mountains in the foreground at some point. I don't know how far away those mountains are, but you would think that regardless of, those mountains would be close enough for the sun to block the sun, where you would see them, the traditional kind of sunset, and it would look like it would go behind it and not just fade out like that. I don't know. It's hard. Exactly. It's hard to tell. I mean, I don't think it's conclusive. I've always thought it was an interesting piece of footage, but not very conclusive to me personally.
Were you one of the few? Because to other people, anything that comes out from the big people, you know, on the flat Earth, is conclusive, and it's you know, it's a law. Period. And if I go against it, I'm just making excuses, you know, allegedly. But yeah, you know, and I'm not talking out of my butt or whatever, because I actually know about both the drones and the camera systems they use, and of course I know a little bit about video equipment, lenses and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I know you work with that kind of stuff. I don't know. What do you think, Bob, about that fading sun video? Put you on the spot here.
I don't really see a problem with it. Like, whenever you're in an airplane, you're not spending a significant amount of time in one place. Whereas with the drone, he can fly it up and set it in one place and watch the sun do whatever the sun does. When you're in an airplane, you're moving, and you're moving pretty quick. So you're never just sitting there just watching the sun from one place. So it's a completely different situation altogether. They're not really comparable items.
Okay, but everybody else that has a drone or live in high altitudes, you know, more than 400 or 500 feet, nobody else has captured the
Are they trying to capture it?
There's plenty of people looking at the sun and sunset, aren't there?
But
I haven't seen any other filming.
It could be an effect that you can only see, you know, every so
Only
often. It could be the conditions are only right. It could be the conditions are only right every so often.
Could be, but it's one video, and I tend to agree. If that was something that happened all the time, And maybe there are other videos. I don't think I've ever done a specific search for it. You would think we would have had that or seen it, or maybe it is special conditions. I don't know. Like
maybe this one more thing I need to try to replicate and make content, since I haven't made content in a year and a half or so.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Lazy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bob.
I would watch it, Carlos. I would watch your content.
Well, I'll try to be somewhat, objective and respectful. I mean, I do have my moments when I rage quit, but the few videos that I have on my channel, I don't really troll or call names or anything, and that's kind of what I would like to focus on. Let's just put the stuff out there and leave the drama for Oakley.
That's right. Let's just keep putting out information.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And obviously we, people love to argue. They love to talk shit.
That's why I'm here. SC, what do you think?
About what, bro?
About what? I don't know, about what we were talking about for the last 10 minutes.
Well, Carlo, I think you're one of the respectable ballers, so I know you for a long time. You're cool. I'll vouch for you. For now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to correct you one thing. I'm not a baller. I'm a flat earth denier. So get it right.
You're going a la Lael. This is Lael tactics.
No.
Flat
earth denier.
Oh man, don't worry. He's just denying reality. So we'll work
okay,
with
all
that.
right.
He's a
It's
science
only funny
denier.
when I say it.
I got another video here. Ranty showed this a while back, but it might be along a similar vein as that sun fade out. And I thought we'd take a look at it. It plays over and over again, and I'm sharing it in Discord. It's just a video of the sunset, but it gets pretty interesting when it gets down towards the horizon.
Is that dude that films at the beach every day for like 30 minutes?
I can't remember the exact source.
Video in the bottom, Sean. You're watching.
YouTube Truth? Is that what it's called? Oh, this is not YouTube. Y'all know who I'm talking about? YouTube Truth?
I don't think so. No, I don't think I know that. All right, now watch this.
I made that dude. All right, go ahead.
All right, there goes. I wish he would have kept filming for a couple more minutes, but I thought it was pretty
nice,
interesting. Now, see how it kind of, you can see like an inner circle and an outer circle here. I should probably make this bigger for out there in the audience. Let me see here. So it's got like an inner circle and an outer circle, and it does kind of look like it's fading in this video too. Or I'll just play it through.
Glare set.
I really slow it down in a minute.
Glare set. Shout out Ranty.
Glare set? Yeah, maybe. There it goes. Now watch what this thing does. See, that was the end of the film. I wish he would have kept going, but it does look like it's just disappearing. Getting ready to, at least.
Doesn't it look like it's reflecting on the bottom part?
You mean
That's
like
kind of cool,
like
no?
right
It's
here?
like chopped there.
Yeah.
It's like there's an upward vector and there's I don't know what you would call the other vector.
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it kind of like melds into nothing, right? It gets all squished, deformed. There's definitely some major glare going on here no matter what. And why is there this inner circle and an outer circle like that? There, you can see it really well.
Yeah, you get that when you film it with an ND filter. You get stuff like that. It's like distortion. It's like
Okay, so that's just
weird.
a camera lens type thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's a visual thing. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It looks like a combination in between the what's it called?
Atmospheric lensing, Carlo. Maybe that's what you're looking for.
No, atmospheric. There's a lot of haze in the background there, and it looks like somebody zoomed in digitally, and the camera was set to a manual exposure.
I
Yeah,
magnified
but
it.
it looks
This is my
yeah, you
magnification.
did magnify it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Not quite the same as the other one, but it looks interesting.
Yeah. No, it's not the same for sure.
Because it is fading as it's setting. So as in if it's getting to that area where it's pretty hazy, unlike the other original video we saw where it was a fade out within 3 seconds span. So
Yeah, and I think
You
that
gotta keep
the change in brightness and color from when it's closer to the zenith and when it goes down towards or goes away is pretty interesting. And now, why
That's
he
the
didn't
atmosphere,
show
of
us
course.
the end of the sunset in his video, I don't know, but this is all there was.
conspiracy.
Yep.
I'm fixing to be AFK for a few.
Now, see, the sun's still within your field of view here. It's still above the horizon, right? But it's getting
But it's
dark.
dark. Yes. Yes. We thought of it at the same time, bro.
It's dark right now, and look how far above the horizon it is.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
What? Why?
That what we see there is not the actual location.
Sure.
But why is it dark if we have line of sight to the sun?
I can prove what I said, Carlo. In 2 ways if you want.
Okay.
You want me to try?
Well, I'm step out, man. I'll be back.
All right. Daylight, it goes further and further away. The light only reaches so far. Bam, it fades into nothingness and you don't see the glare anymore. Bam. I mean, that makes sense. And look at it. It looks like it's hard to tell because of perspective, but it doesn't look like it's going in a circle, does it? It doesn't look like it's going in a circular arc over us. It looks like it's just going away and kind of curving to the right. Going away, curving to the right, and fading into nothing. I don't know. I mean, if my head hadn't been filled with the idea that the earth is spinning in a ball and, the sun is going in a giant circle around us, I looked at this, I would think, yeah, it's going away. It's going away from me.
Do you know the distance?
To the horizon? No, I don't. No. No, but this is original speed here. I think it was sped up in the first place. So this is quite a long time if you watch the people.
Well, this is somebody standing up taking a camera, right?
I assume they have it on a
The video.
tripod, but yeah.
So we can say about 5-6 foot high.
Yeah, looks like it.
So then we can deduce that the horizon, according to their calculations, is what? 3 miles away?
Uh-oh, where's Data when you need him? Yeah, 3 miles, right?
Also, look at that line of the sun when it's set. Isn't it perfectly straight on the water?
Looks straight to me. Goes down and away in an arcing motion. Away in an arcing motion. It appears to go down towards the horizon because of perspective, which is how all objects that move away from us appear. Matches perspective. It matches everything that I would expect to see on a flat plane with the sun that circles overhead. And we see it every day. We see the sun move, around above us every day. I've never seen myself move, I can tell you that, or the ground beneath me move.
Nope, never once did I jump up or on my bike and see the earth spin underneath me. Not once. Funny that.
So yeah, if anybody else has got a sun video like that that's interesting, shoot it to me. I think that's a pretty interesting video. And this was David Weiss's. I'm sure I have the link to that original video somewhere, but I'd have to dig for it. That one we were just watching. Let me see. What's this? Okay, this is interesting. This is a Life is Short. I have no idea what this says, but we'll check it out. This is from Life is Short. It's a slide.
Shout out to Life is Short.
Yeah. Excuse me. So he's talking about perspective here. Damn, look familiar? It looks like all that stuff that I was presenting here. Here's the orthographic view on the left. And this is what we see on the right, the perspective view. Yeah, so let me see what he says here. When observing this scenario, oh shit, I'm going to show how dumb I am in a minute. What does this symbol mean? This
Theta.
Theta, okay. Theta is met for my lowered observer height and sets my lower horizon distance, which is now closer in at angle 8. Angle 8, okay. So that would be here, right? For the information above my eye line, the descent rate is now steeper, but I have less of an angular compression rate. These angle pairs, the 8s or the 1s or the 11s, etc., must always remain in proportion but diminish together according to the ceiling floor distance. I guess it's hard to interpret this without context, but for some reason I thought I saved this.
He's talking about angles here. It's all about angles.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what he's trying to say, but I understand how perspective changes what we see in the world, obviously. Anyway, okay. I just
saying
saw
the steeper the descent rate with our perspective. I mean, this is what he says. The higher the ceiling, the steeper the descent rate within our own perspective.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep. That makes sense. And that's what I've been saying too. The higher something is above you, you're going to see the distance between change, between time periods change as it moves away from you. And it's going to look like a steeper descent because everything moves into the vanishing point.
Right. Also, if you have like a ceiling on the floor, but you have an open sky, it's different, right? As if you're looking on a roof, right? If you're in an enclosed hallway. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right.
And Life is Short goes over how the angle packets in the upper part of your vision pair with the lower parts of your vision, but the lower part of your vision has angle packets that are much more compressed than the upper part. So when they're matched, you're going to have a very wide view on something like the sun in the top half, but hardly any view in the bottom half. And finally, when they pair at the vanishing point, it's just going to set early, or appear to set early behind a line since it's in an area with a wider angle packet.
Yeah, makes sense. And that's kind of what he's showing here too. is this is obviously you're getting much more compressed view of the ground in front of you below your eye because you're closer to it as it moves away from you. And what is above you, such as the sun, it's so far above you that you're seeing about the same distance between each point, right? Each time period. Yeah, okay. This makes sense. All right, I thought I'd bring that up since I had it in my folder. What else I got in here? What's going on, Lemon? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Let's see what this is.
I keep on trying to show Globers the Life is Short video. They act like it's the freaking plague. They look at it and they say, oh, it's nonsense or whatever. It just doesn't work. Half the time, I don't even believe they viewed it.
No, it's too long.
They didn't scrutinize it. I know that.
I've never seen a thorough debunking of it. I'm just opening random stuff in my folders at this point. Oh, go ahead.
It's like they basically think it should just vanish down to a point each and every time if it's perspective, but if everything converges toward the level of your eyes, then you need to figure out how much of the objects above your eye level and below your eye level and compute the rates based off of, what plane of, vision it's occupying.
You know what they don't get? They're right when they say everything compresses in perspective equally, but they don't understand when you're in an open sky and the deck is lower to you, it's different. It's not the same thing as if you're in a hallway and all four angles compress into one. The brain handles, your vision handles it different. The lower part rises, it appears to rise more than the top, obviously. Or compresses, think of it any way you want, right?
It's the same principle, but you just don't have a whole lot of room in the bottom part of your vision. It's not like looking up in the sky where you have left, right, up, down, equal room and infinite room in all areas for something to vary down to a point. If something's sticking up out of the flat plane, level. Yeah, it's like relative to the level of your eyes, you need to figure out how much of the object's above your eye level and how much of it is below, and then compute the rate.
Oh. All right. There was something weird in here.
Is that Tyson?
Yeah. Yeah. This is, I think, an RV video, but there was something really strange in this one. I think it was the sun going up and going down again. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, no. Here, this must be it. I'll just let it play. That's probably why I didn't. Yeah, there it is. All right, watch this. I don't know what the heck this is, but he had it in one of his videos. Okay, did you see that?
No, what?
Let's see if anybody notices it. See what the sun's doing? Oh, yep.
It's kind of like it's rising.
It is. Is it reversed though?
It went
I think
down
it's
again?
just reversed.
Is it going up and down?
That's what I thought the first time I saw this, but now I'm looking at this. I think it's just reversed. I don't know why somebody would do that, but watch the birds, see if they go the opposite direction suddenly.
See the bulge at the top?
Yeah, see the birds go backwards.
Watch when the sun bulges.
Oh, is that what this is about? I don't see anything.
I don't know.
Reversing it? Is the sea going
right
up?
there.
What's going on here?
No, the birds are going backwards. That's why I saved this video, because I thought at first when I was watching it that the sun like went back up and then went back down, but I never looked at it closely. Job. Yeah, the video's just reversed. So you see the birds go backwards real quick. Nope, there's the backwards flying birds. So I don't know why that was in there.
You sure this is not in Australia?
Wouldn't they be flying upside down if it was in Australia?
Oh, yeah. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the only thing that was interesting in here. Well, I can delete that one. Let's see what else I got. Just opening random shit. If anybody has anything to talk about, feel free to bring it up. Oh, here was another sunset that I saved. Let's see what this one's all about. Man, I hate how careful I have to be about the freaking music and stuff on YouTube. What a pain in the ass, man. Remember back in the good old days when you could find anything on YouTube and just play just about anything?
And that's how they hook you. After that, they're like, gotcha, bitch. Oh, the sun doesn't change angular size with the filter.
Shout out to Carlos for trying to defend out of focusness.
What?
Now you tell me that this.
I said, shout out to Carlos. That looks pretty in focus for a sun fade out.
I don't know if it's fading out, but it sure the hell looks like the sun is moving above us across the sky again. And it's just going behind the mountains.
We're spinning backwards. We are spinning backwards.
Oh. Are you sure? Because I've never felt any spin or the earth moving.
No, honestly, I'm not sure, but I do like to speculate.
Okay. Well, that's very honest of you.
I had bad connection.
Hey, Carlos.
As long as we base our speculation in reality, that's fine. But you can always tell that the sun is above you because the sun's rays always seem like they're coming down and at an angle in the morning light as it's coming through the window. It doesn't look like it's revolving up toward the ceiling and down toward the ground, rotating like it would on an object revolving toward the sun. It's always coming in and mostly at a downward angle. So that's only consistent with, a sun that's revolving overhead.
I agree. And it doesn't look like it's that far away just looking at it. It doesn't match what I would expect to see if it was 93 million miles away. Not that I've ever seen anything that far away, but all my senses tell me, everything I've ever seen of the sun tells me it's just right up there somewhere. Right above us. Look at that. That is clearly moving away from us. In a circular fashion again.
And then they say that you get the true size of the sun and its angular size change with the filter when I've seen videos of it changing with and without a filter. It just seems like a kind of an arbitrary ad hoc rationalization.
Yeah, well, look how big it is right here. Okay. I know this doesn't have a filter, but it changes colors and it gets smaller.
Yeah, I don't know what Lemon's talking about, it changing in angular size with the solar filter. I never see that a significant change in angular size with the solar filter.
There's Phuket World. They say that his filter's not, standard issue or some crap, but the ad hoc rationalizations come out en masse with this sort of stuff. Trying to protect that Salish pig and ball.
The problem is a lot of guys will call their neutral density filters solar filters when they're not.
What makes a solar filter, legit?
What makes a solar filter a solar filter?
Do your research.
Does it just have to filter? No. I've done a little bit of research, but like a filter is a filter, right? Like I
have both, Rob. I can tell you there's a big difference.
But that's a good question, implied anyway. The question is, what is the solar filter filtering out? Glare? Well, what constitutes glare and what constitutes the true shape of the object? The philosophy behind the use of solar filters and their necessity in the flat earth discussion is also highly questionable because we may just be cutting off arbitrary sections of light with no real justification as to, Why?
Yeah, the glare. You said it right. Cutting out all that glare that doesn't show the true size of the source of light.
So how do we know that we're getting light rays from the true source as opposed to just glare? What is the glare that makes it glare instead of the true part of the object, if any part of the object?
Yeah, good question.
The only reason why I ask is because you can have glare off of the lens, you can have glare from the medium. I mean, how can the filter cut out one and or the other? I could see how the lens could cut out maybe the rays coming from the medium, but at that point, it's just taking in light rays that come, at a straight 90-degree angle as much as possible off of the object. But what if other rays that are being cut out are part of the object too? How do we even know?
Rays are not part of an object.
Well, and what says
By
just
rays,
because
you
you
mean
use a
glare?
solar filter to cut off out the glare that you're seeing the true size and shape of the object you're viewing? That's like saying wearing sunglasses will get rid of refraction.
That's not that. We're not talking about refraction. That's not a good comparison. I mean, you can do this with a light bulb. Look at a light bulb, and it's just a lot bright. If it's with the camera, let's say, and as it's blown out, it got glare. You can't really see. All you see is all this glare. Whatever you put a filter in front of it, and you start getting to see the true shape of the light bulb.
Right, but my point was my point was a little different. I'm not saying that solar filters don't have their use. Obviously they do. But just because you
Right.
filter out all that glare or whatever, you don't know that you're seeing the true size, shape, whatever of the source, because you can't filter out refraction and other atmospheric effects that happen between you and the object.
You shouldn't have to worry about refraction if you. I mean, how's the refraction?
Well, refraction would give you a false shape and size on the object, would it not? If the object has a true shape and a true size, and these fake rays, refraction wise or whatever, are being filtered out supposedly by this filter, supposing that that's what's happening, why isn't refraction being filtered out? Are we supposed to get what? A true refracted image that is being seen through the solar filter? I mean, that's where some of this stuff gets so philosophical and theoretical. It's like, what is this based on?
Well, I don't know why we're talking about I mean, we're talking about it changing angular size, or it setting and then.
It's changing angular size and the arbitrary argument of moving the goalpost with, oh, it changes size without a solar filter, but you got to use a solar filter to get the real size.
Okay, well, the argument is that
It's changed with a filter and without a filter, although Phuket's, filter was not standard issue or whatever.
Well, quite frankly, I don't know the video in question here, but if they're saying that he didn't use a proper solar filter, then yeah, that would be a good place to start, because if you're not using the proper filter, then you're looking at glare and you're crediting that to it changing angular size. So, but
Isn't the question kind of moot? If the object that's causing the glare is going further and further away, the glare along with the size of the object would diminish anyway. So why are we moving this to a filter
no,
that may cut arbitrary portions of the
not the
light that
case.
may mess with the calculations?
Yeah, that's not the case.
You want to repeat that, Carlos, after he's finished? I didn't catch what you were saying, Carlos. You're trying to cut him off.
We're saying that as the fact that the glare is diminishing as the sun, allegedly is going away, then that shows that the sun is going away from you because the glare is decreasing. But that's not the case. You obviously, the sun is going through a lot more atmosphere as it's setting compared to as if right above you. That's why you start seeing it less brighter and less brighter to where you can actually make out the shape of it. But that doesn't mean it's going away.
I'm just talking about the arbitrary theory that's behind this, because part of the glare we cutting out? The medium, the lens, the part of the light that's not, on the lens, in a certain location. Is it because the lens itself is not focusing properly, and you're overcoming the focusing powers of the lens? Unless we know where the source of quote unquote glare is, we're not even going to know what we're arbitrarily cutting out.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Just because you use a solar filter doesn't mean you're seeing the true size and shape of the object. How do you know you didn't cut something out that is part of it, or it's not? You can't say that it's not changing angular size because you don't know what effects the
That's literally how
atmosphere is
welding
having
works.
between you and the object. Is obviously you're looking through more atmosphere. So what impact is that having on the apparent size of the sun as it moves away from you? Anyway, let's see what this is. I see we got a couple more people in chat. Let me say hello to them first. Right the hand. What's up, man? No? All right.
I'm here.
Hey, it's me.
Oh.
Bro, I just said I got. Hang on, somebody's. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's see what this is. This says strange sun anomalies on how I saved it. Okay. So this is obviously one of those videos where it appears the sun is going in between clouds. It does look pretty, you got to admit, even though, there's an explanation for this as far as the clouds being washed out, it does look pretty convincing sometimes that the sun is in between the clouds, just visually, doesn't it? No, is it just me?
It does seem sometimes a little bit like that might be the case. I don't know that I've seen any that are like absolutely definitive or anything.
Well, sometimes the sun can wash out the stuff in the foreground. So some people were cautioning against saying, oh, the sun's within the clouds, because sometimes it's so bright with some of these cameras, it washes out stuff that it's behind. So I guess I'd have to look into that with how, you can have light washing out the clouds and making it look like it's in front of or behind the clouds or whatever.
And like, I don't know what's going on in this one. I don't have the background, but that's pretty weird. This would have to, of course, mean that the plane is above the sun, which I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, anyway. Let's see what else I got in here. Everybody's pretty quiet tonight.
I want to add real quick. That's the whole point of welding goggles. You're you're filtering out all the glare so you can actually see the true size of things and what you're welding. The tip of your welding.
Do you think a welder's helmet is a solar filter?
No, I'm saying that's an example of why of why you use a solar filter to see the true size of things.
No, I get it. I get it. So I just remember when that eclipse happened in 2017, I actually used my welding helmet to watch the eclipse.
Yeah,
because
that has like 13.
Right at everything.
What's it?
So
13.
Wasn't that filtering the light from the sun? So technically, was a solar filter.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering what's the difference between my welding helmet and an actual solar filter. What's the difference?
Well, if you get one of those welding filters, I think it's like number 13. I don't know what the metric is that they use for measuring the amount of light that gets through. They say that is good enough for you to actually use that as a filter for it to not damage your retina. But yeah, that's a pretty good one. It's a lot better than a neutral density filter, that's for sure. That's nowhere near what you would call a solar
Carlo,
filter.
you have to be careful when you say
Yes.
neutral density filters because there's different kinds. I have an ND400, which is adjustable. It could go from clear to 400,
Yep.
but there's other ones that are 2000. So let's be clear on that. There's
Yeah. Well,
different
when I
kind of ND
when I
filters.
say good, yeah. Yeah, and when I say neutral density, ND, I'm talking about like the quarter and 1/8, the standard ones for video and photography. Yeah.
And also, most of them are adjustable. You can vary them, like just turn like you turn a knob, right?
Like a what?
The filter, I don't know if you know, most of them are adjustable. Like the one I have, you screw it on the lens, right? And then the filter itself, you can turn the whole thing and it becomes from clear to 400. But there's other ones that go 800, 2000. It depends on how dark you want to make it.
Yeah, well, not all of them are adjustable. Some filters come pre built in some cameras, and you can switch them from quarter to 1/8, 16. Yes, different kinds. But what I'm saying is that those right there are for mostly photography and videography, and mostly to help you out so you can get a better image, but not meant for it to block out all that glare from the sun, because we're talking a whole different animal there. But anyway.
I agree with that, yeah. But I also agree with what Brandon said, because they say that filter is sufficient, but how do we know? Like, do we know exactly, you know what I'm saying? Is that really the original size after we use that filter? Why that specific filter?
Well, okay, when mainstream, when that was, when they were when the eclipse was going on or whatever was going to happen, those are perfect for you to get in the true size of the so nobody claimed that per se. As the claim is that if you get a filter that normally is used for welding, that's going to be enough protection for you to safely look at the sun and avoid
Yeah,
permanent
I
damage
heard that
to your
too. Yeah, and people have done that. Yeah, the welding mask. Yes.
Right. But nobody's claiming that that's a perfect solar filter. It's just, hey, you'll be all right if you use that. Is basically what the claim is.
Yeah, I
But
could agree
anyway.
to that. Sure.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Gordzilla, $5 super chat. Thanks, Gordzilla. I treated myself to a huge fat joint tonight, and still I feel no spin nor see any curve. Gonna go get my money back. I would love to see you try to get your money back for that. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, so this video I've been playing is kind of interesting. It's this plane flight where essentially they're following the sun from JFK, which is, where is that? That's in New York, right? To Moscow. Let me see. Yeah, that's about right. Goes a pretty far away. We see kind of a sunset. And you can see on the right, there's this little infographic that shows you what the path of the sun would be over a flat Earth type model. It's pretty cool. And again, you see the sun, this angle it goes away from us just doesn't comport with the spinning ball model in my mind. It goes away and curves, away and curves. I don't know. Does any of this stop and make you think, Carlos? You know, the sun especially. The sun is my big thing. Oh, Carlos drop. I just think everything that they say about the sun is wrong, and it's so obvious that it's just right up there. And it's moving. But anyway, that's a pretty interesting video. Let's see what else we got. Please hit the thumbs up if you're out there listening. I'd appreciate it. See if we can get to 50. We're at 21 right now, so quite a ways to go. And we do start off in the hole every show as far as thumbs down goes. So that is appreciated. So let me see what we got here. Let's see. Guys, I'm literally just digging clips up. So if you got anything, go for it.
Ranty has a good one. Remember the one he showed, and we came up with the term glare set?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He has a freaking awesome one, yeah.
Yeah, he's got some good sun footage.
Yeah, you clearly see like the bottom, it's like that deep yellow, and like more dark yellow, I mean, and on the top you actually see the sun part.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm just looking through. I researched the sun for quite a long time. I've got a whole bunch of documents and snippets and videos and crap that I'm looking through here. Let's see what this one is. Did we already look at this one? Oh, here's another sun behind the clouds one. Or in the clouds, I guess is the right thing to say. Now, just to be clear, I do not think that the sun is in the clouds, but some of these look pretty dang convincing. Like, that's pretty cool. I mean, does it not look like it's cutting that cloud in half?
It certainly looks that way.
I don't even care if it's this one is pretty good too. If it's just an optical thing. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, it's got to be an optical thing. I mean,
yeah, that would mean the sun is really, really, really close. Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks like it's just in the middle of the clouds.
Looks like a cool sci-fi movie. The Earth is just about to hit.
Yeah.
I mean, the sun is just about to hit the Earth.
Oh, shit. Let's see if this dark area right here gets covered up by the sun. Because this dark area is covering it. See, that dark area covered it. See, that's what's weird. Well, they didn't let it go long enough, but I think when it got into the darker spot, it would have covered it. I don't know. Maybe the sun is right up there all this time. Yeah, whoever put this video together thinks that the moon is that close too. But I don't think it's that close. Although I have no idea how close it is.
This is a visual, whatever it is.
Yeah, and the camera does, you know, the camera's not as sensitive with the lights, with the light sources either, so it'll wash a lot of stuff out. Let's see here. Let me see what this is before I pull it over. Oh, geez. I don't know why I clipped this, but if YouTube's out there, looks like I thought this was a really good comment at one time, YouTube. Danny D, the sun wouldn't change size as it moves away if it's getting magnified. This is kind of what we were talking about. Tom Coombs, the Willis Tower weatherman. So the atmosphere is acting like a lens? Expert he was talking to, yes. Must be something he's been beating Danny D up about for years, I would imagine. It's pretty funny.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, what's up, Ranty?
Yeah, I've been listening in for a while. How's it going? No Globers coming. That's the
No,
main thing.
quiet night.
What's going on?
I don't know.
It's not
We
even
had one
Halloween.
brave one.
It's Halloween tomorrow. I mean, it's not Halloween tonight. I mean, what's up with these guys?
That's a good question. Well, Carlos has been in here, but he was pretty agreeable. Let's see. Yeah, we're just going through old clips. What was somebody up to tonight?
Oh, not much. Not much. Chillaxing. I've actually been watching a few films today. Just totally de-stressing from life, sort of thing.
Well, that's good, man. How's the stomach feeling? Or the abdomen?
It's feeling good, but I'm worried about these stitches because they haven't melted yet. They're supposed to melt, so yeah, they haven't. So I was kind of scrubbing them today, hoping to get them to melt.
Oh shit!
Are they past due or something, Ranty?
I think so. Yeah, I think you're only supposed to have them in for, I don't know, 10 days or something. Well, it's been what? It's 2.5 weeks. So yeah, it's about time they came out. I think if they haven't come out by, I don't know, Sunday, I'll just cut them out. I think.
Don't go loony and start pulling them. Maybe you should call the hospital first, bro. I did that once with my cast. I couldn't wait to take it off, and I took it off with a scissor, a hammer. I was young, of course.
I too have done that. I got in a bad car accident and had like 30 stitches on my back, and I was too impatient to wait for them to be taken out or whatever, and I picked them out one by one. Not the smartest thing in the world, but
no. But then again, I've got a better one than that. When I was on a night out, and it was a few years ago now, and got into a bit of trouble with some guy, and he broke a glass and tried to slash me with it. Anyway, he caught my arm, and I've got a scar on my arm. It's about 4 inches long. When I came home, instead of going to the hospital, I just put some sellotape on it.
oh my god!
Next day, just woke up, peeled the sellotape off, put some masking tape on it, funnily enough, and yeah, I've got a nice scar there now, but no stitches.
That's pretty badass, man. So what were you guys fighting about?
I don't even remember, to be honest. I really don't remember. Yeah, it was a few years ago now. I mean, it was a few years ago, so it was just I don't know. To be fair, I couldn't remember. Maybe I bumped into him or something. I don't know.
Oh, just some random thing, huh?
Yeah, it wouldn't have. Yeah, I just remember the fight part, which was a bit weird. I don't even know how it started. So, but anyway, yeah. So yeah. So I just put some sellotape over it. I remember coming home and thinking, how am I going to stop this bleeding? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll put some sellotape round it. So pull around.
Yes.
Things you do.
On a first aid note, if anybody ever gets cut and there's nothing around, of course, we all know the pee disgusting thing, of course, but also tobacco. Just cut a cigarette, put it on your wound, stops it instantly.
Well, actually, yeah. So I was watching. I watched the first 2 videos. I watched the first 2 Lord of the Rings back today, actually. And in the first one of that, I think Frodo gets stabbed by something, and they end up getting some cannabis, chewing this cannabis and sticking it in his wound.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, and I thought that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, oh, they were
I've
chewing
done it
up.
myself, so I know it works.
Right. Huh. We've been joined by a few more people. Patient Zero, iRocks. Well, how's it going, guys?
I was talking about your sun
You
sun
hip.
glare picture, Ranty.
Yeah, I saw. We still not had a proper explanation of that actually from these Globers. I mean, the Rumpus has been in, and he's not mentioned anything about this, has he? Normally he's got something to say.
I think he wants to draw some ray tracing, but it didn't work out.
Was it in a straight line? That's why.
Right.
What?
No, I just said
We insulted
right.
Carlos's buddy.
Oh, that's pretty damn good, Carlos. I thought that was him for a minute.
I did. I actually thought that. I thought that was rubber. I did. I swear. Right.
That was the point. Right.
You got my blood pressure immediately going, man. I was.
I know. I felt the same. I was going to run away and go on mute. Funny things. I might do a show tomorrow, actually, with it being Halloween.
Really?
Yeah,
All right.
well, unless you're planning on doing one. I know you don't normally do the weekends, but I thought if you're not doing a show, if you're not planning on doing a show tomorrow, I might do one on my own.
No, go for it, man. I wasn't planning on doing one. I'm gonna take the kids trick or treating and stuff.
There you go. Perfect timing then. I might as well. There's nothing else.
Check those apples for the razor blades.
Yeah.
Check what? The what's what? What? Check what?
I said check those apples for razor blades.
Eee.
You never heard that before, Ranty?
No.
Razor blades and I think it's an old urban legend from over here. It might have happened
I'm sure
one time.
Some moron did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
One time.
Well, actually put razor blades in an apple for a kid to eat.
There was a guy who put poison in the candy to kill his own kid for insurance money, and I think that's what it started from. So he poisoned the candy, gave it to his own kid, acted like they got it from a different house while they were trick or treating, and that started that story. So in the 80s and 90s, our parents always had to check out all of our candy and make sure there wasn't anything in it. Kind of silly.
Now in 2020, I gotta check my kids' candy, make sure there's no flat Earth flyers in it.
That's a good idea. Thanks for the idea, Carlos. I should hand out little leaflets for the kids who come to my door.
You know what the most scariest thing in the world is? The Earth is not a globe. That's pretty good, ain't it?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what the kids have got nowadays though? They don't want apples or sweets like that. They've got a portable card reader so that you can just pay them on card.
Come on.
They want
They're not called
App Store,
Santa.
Google App Store credit or Apple credit.
Yeah, all of that. They've got them all in the bags. I mean, they just say, "Oh, can you do contactless?" Yeah, there you go.
They have an e-stocking.
Dang. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, you ought to make one of those flyers and put in there. Space is not scary because it's not real.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. I wonder how popular I'll be around my neighborhood after that.
Well, you might be a cell buddy with Nathan. Rest in peace, the Flat Earth Discussion Group.
Yeah, it's too bad. Does anybody know why it got taken down? Was there something that happened in particular, or they just Facebook could just kind of?
I mean, do you really need an explanation?
I don't know. I never joined it. I was never there, so I have no idea what it was all about.
Well, there's two. I got two theories. One, either Facebook just censoring quote unquote fake information or false information or whatever, or some butthurt people who are not allowed in complain about their group and made enough noise to maybe highlight it, and maybe that was the reason why Facebook kind of
looking at it with a magnifying glass.
Because
that sounds pretty good.
I think the latter might be the closest thing because Nathan was not. I mean, he was very what do you call it? It was very exclusive. If you didn't have more than a few pictures on your profile or something like that, or if he didn't answer the right question, then he would say nope. And I think some trolls wanted to just, there's trolls on both sides that they see a window and they just want to throw a rock through it, through it just because
Yeah,
they
because a
can.
lot of humans are shitty people.
Well,
Even
not all
flat
of them, but
earthers.
there's definitely a few on both sides. So yeah, that's very likely what could have happened.
Yeah, that kind of trolling I don't understand. Just going to mess with somebody and kicking a little dirt in their face and talking some shit. It's fine. I think that's
hey,
fun, but
I will tell you why. Because hurt people hurt people.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, abusers tend to abuse others, usually in the
hurt
same
people.
manner.
No, abusees will abuse others. Like that kid that got picked on in school will grow up and pick on people.
Yes, I hope I didn't say it wrong. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
You think Nathan was picked on in school when he was little? I don't know.
Were you picked on in school, Carlos, when you were little?
Yes, I actually was. I have many nicknames. One of them was Poop Stain.
Poop Stain?
Yeah, they call me Poop Stain because I had a birthmark in my face, and it was a lot more noticeable when I was little. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking mean, man.
At least it's for a birthmark, and it wasn't just like straight up them being really mean about the fact that you're not white.
Well, I did grow up in the third world country, so I was actually more lighter skinned than most of my.
Oh, okay,
my
all right.
So I wouldn't have flown. But anyway.
Where did you grow up, Carlos? What country? If you don't mind saying.
And Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Wow. I don't think I've ever actually talked to anybody from Nicaragua before, to be honest with you.
Now you have.
That's interesting. So what's going on in Nicaragua? Give us a little blurb about what Nicaragua's like, man.
Well, over there, the Earth is round right now. We don't have any flat earthers, so still round. Now, it was pretty bad actually. 2 years back, with the government, there was I'll give you a very short version of what happened. But basically, the government took away the Social Security for the elderly, and they little elderly people started protesting, and allegedly the government sent people out to suppress the protest, and they actually beat up and hurt people, and that went everybody who was okay with what was going on just immediately just switched again, and went against the government and just had enough, and everybody started protesting for that and other things, and the government tried their best to suppress, and in the span of 3 months, 70 people died on those protests, and eventually it just kind of died out, and they just really wrote it out. But the people were demanding the president to renounce and stand down. But like I said, they stood their ground, and people just kind of died out, and now the pandemic happened, and it just kind of faded out. And it's not as much violent. There's no protests or anything, but the economy is hurting now. But yeah, it's been rough the last 3 years over there.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. You got a lot of family back there still?
No, a lot of friends though. My parents were there, but they moved here right when that happened. So
okay. Now I've actually heard that flat Earth is big down in South America, Central America.
Central America. Yeah, I would say that it's kind of blew up for a little while, and maybe still is big. I haven't heard much, but I know there was a lot of groups that came out there, and mostly South America. You go down to Brazil and Chile and Argentina, where it's what's where Iru Landucci is from.
Yeah,
it's kind of big over there, but yeah.
So there's a lot of smart people down there. Cool.
Well, yes.
Yes, he said.
He wouldn't dare. He wouldn't dare.
Well, that's
Yeah.
cool.
There's definitely smart people, and then there's also flat earthers. But yeah.
There it is.
No, he wouldn't dare about those people
No,
down there. He knows.
I would not.
He
I
knows
would
what
not
would
dare.
happen to him.
Hey, I've seen some of the nicest and passionate people are people who are flat earthers. So there's some good people out there. They're just trying to do the right thing. So
Well, if you think about
No,
any
I was
other,
talking about the South American and the Central Americans. You wouldn't dare talk bad about them when I said they were
no,
smart.
man, that's my people. I'm Honduran myself.
Exactly.
Shoot, man. And a lot of people say that the Americans are not, and that stereotype is kind of that's kind of blown out of proportion too. Especially in the South, it's a bunch of dumb Americans. I'm like, no, not really. But anyway, we're not gonna get into it right now.
why do you suppose that South America flat Earth took off so much? Why did it blow up down there?
Well, I have not followed it in the last year or so, but you know, I don't know. It's just the same way that it will blow up in the U.S. and Europe. I mean, it's just there's people that already have that that mindset of there's certain conspiracies and they're looking for truth and when you combine the flat Earth with biblical cosmology or alleged biblical cosmology and the whole deception of the evil in the world, that it kind of really clicks together and it's really easy to just jump on the train. But I think social media has a lot to do with it too. So
Could I
don't
share
know.
screens for a second?
Yeah.
Ask Carlos a question. Carlos, can you have a look at my screen? Get an opportunity.
Bear with me. Let's see.
Sure. It's just a
I'm
Google
waiting
Earth.
Waiting for it to load.
Okay. Yeah.
It'd be better to go to.
While you're bringing that up, Paul Keeling says that in Belgium, there's talk of a lockdown until December. That's crazy, Paul.
Have you got it? Have you got it, Carlos?
Not yet. Hang on. It's a lot of bandwidth.
Okay. Can everybody else see?
I'm just getting the two dancing squares right now.
Hold on then. Let me try something different. So just share Google Earth for now. So let us know if you can.
I can see it pretty clearly.
Right, cool. Okay. Oh, Carlos has left.
Oh, yeah.
No worries. Right. Well, in the meantime, can you see this then?
Yeah.
Can you see this? Right. Okay. So I'm going to go to, because he said he's in this. He's in South America, right?
He's from Nicaragua.
Right. Okay. So basically, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through this map here. I'm going to just do some distances. So because you said that you thought it was pretty flat. He said it was pretty round. So basically, I'm just going to go up to Argentina there, and it's what it says map length. Can you see how far it says on the map length?
Let's see. Where does it show that? No.
See, you're right in the center. Can you see map length?
No, I think you have your pop-up isn't shared or something.
Oh, so you're not seeing Google right? Pop-up hasn't shared, right?
Well, we see Earth, but I don't see any length listed anywhere.
Okay. Maybe you should do this then, Brandon.
I see you drawing a line there.
Yeah, we
can't see the pop-up.
No, can't see the pop-up. Nope.
Right. Okay. So, do you want to? Can you bring up Google Earth and do it yourself then, Brandon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you be able to do that and share it to the audience, and we can have a look at that?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Right.
All right. You have to walk me through what you had in mind.
Well, yeah, it's pretty easy.
I see Chile and Brazil, Argentina.
All right, give me a minute. Let me get Google Earth up. There it is. Okay, I am still sharing, so you guys should see my screen.
Yep.
And we'll go down here to South America.
Okay.
And we'll go way down. Whoa, too close. Oh,
Keep going out a bit more.
Yep.
Going out.
Yep. Hold on.
Careful, you're going to cause us to crash.
This app
Steady
sucks.
this thing.
All right, there we go.
There we go. That'll do. Yeah. So if you just want to draw a line in.
Okay.
So you've got map length and you've got ground length. If you want to change that from just to normal miles, so the nautical miles.
Yeah.
There we go. Cool. Right. Okay. So now just draw a line in from the south, right up about 1,000 miles, something like that.
Why did it do that? Why doesn't this thing ever work for me? All right, let me try it.
You tap it once to set it off, and then you just tap it.
It doesn't always. For some reason, it doesn't always work for me. Let me try it again. Sorry, guys. Miles, okay. Here we go. Tap.
Yeah.
Nothing. Now it shows up.
Right. Okay, that'll do. I can't even see where you've done it from. Map length and what does it say? Does it say? Does that say ground length 850?
850. Yep, 850 for both of them. Map length and ground length.
So 850 and 850. So I guess my question is that flat all round? And the reason, like, I'll tell you what this is all about. If you look in Google and you just search in Google and you put map length versus ground length. Now listen to this. The first thing that comes up, keep this on your screen. Map length is the straight line distance between the 2 points. Ground length is the distance, including the terrain, between the 2 points. In other words, if you're on a flat land, the difference between map and ground length will be minimal.
That's interesting.
I'll say that again. Map length is the straight line distance between the 2 points. Ground length is the distance, including the terrain, between the 2 points. In other words, if you're on a flat land, the difference between map and ground length will be minimal. Now, as you can see, that's an 850-mile distance, and there is just 1/10 of a mile of difference between the map length and the ground length. Now, over 850 miles, there should be a tremendous amount of Earth curvature that should be added to the ground length if we lived on a globe.
Good catch, bro. Sure, all the humps, all the mountains,
that's
all the
terrain and curvature are two different things, though.
No, the ground length would include the distance
Carlo, come on, man.
over the curve, man. You know, and that's why they say
Great circle.
if you're going to be doing it over a flat plane, basically, as it says, the difference will be minimal. Now, over 850 miles, I think 1/10 of a mile is minimal.
So either the ground length should be higher or the map length should be lower.
So the map length, if it was 850, the ground length you would imagine would be around about 870, something like that, maybe, or 860. Certainly higher. The ground length would be much longer than the map length, because the map length would be as the crow flies, and the ground length would include all the terrain and the curvature of the Earth as well.
That's assuming it's perfectly flat.
Would the map length?
No. What does it say that it will include the curvature of the Earth? Is that what you're assuming, or is that what it says?
I'll read it again if you want to listen to this. Map length is the straight line distance between the 2 points. Right? Straight line distance, map length. So you've got that on screen right now. And the ground length is the distance, including the terrain between the 2 points. And then it goes on to expressly tell you the difference between the two. In other words, if you're on a flat land, the difference between map and ground length will be minimal.
Right.
It specifically says that. So if you're on a flat land, the difference between map and ground length will be minimal. And as you can see, just 1/10 of a mile is the difference over 850 miles. Now I'm going to say that's minimal.
Right. So
it's flat, then it's not a globe.
Okay, so what do you think they're referring to when they say flatland? Do you think they're referring to like excluding the curvature, or flatland as in Kansas is flat, as in lack of terrain, as
Lack
in
of
hills and valleys?
Lack of it specifically goes between the two. You've got map length and ground length. Ground length includes the curve. Map length just includes
Where does it say
distance.
that?
Oh
What
my
does it say?
goodness!
No, okay.
How many
right
more
here.
times do I have to say it to you? Just look into Google. Just type into Google right now: map length versus ground length, and the first thing that pops up is that statement that I just told you that said that the map length is the straight line distance between the 2 points, and the ground length is the distance including the terrain between 2 points.
Terrain as in hills and valleys, right?
Hills, valleys, earth curve.
No, you adding the earth curve. You're adding that.
That's why it goes on to say, in other words, if you're on a flat land, the difference will be between map and ground will be minimal.
Are we saying we have 850 miles of complete flat, Ranty?
You got us, Ranty. We're busted.
Pretty much.
You don't understand. The ground length is not the straight line. The straight line distance is along the curve of the Earth.
Now then,
idiot.
Now then, if they were talking about curvature, Earth curvature, they wouldn't have needed to express this point at the end, which would have been the difference between map and ground length will be minimal. Because if it was flat, as in a flat, completely flat surface like a tabletop, then the distance between the map and the ground length would be identical. There would be identicalness. But they're talking about Earth curvature versus flatness. In other words, flat land versus curvature. And that's why they turn around and say the difference between map and ground length will be minimal. Not identical, minimal. That tells you
nothing's perfectly flat.
That tells you that they're making a difference, a specific difference between land and Earth curvature, flatness versus globe.
No, let me explain to you slowly. Let me explain.
No, you don't have to explain to me.
Well, you do, because you're not understanding it. You're not understanding it as usual.
I am understanding.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You never understand anything. You're always wrong, Ranty. Just remember that. And
well, then we don't need to waste the time with your
That's
explanation.
all you need to remember.
You won't understand anyway.
So I'm always right, and you're always wrong, and I'll explain to you why.
Oh boy.
No, you won't.
That's the way to start a conversation. Nice, nice, Ranty.
He just got globustered.
That was it. Oh wow, that was his shortest yet. That was nice, perfect.
It was a quick night for him tonight.
You come to the bar. The bar owner is there. The first thing you do is you call the bar owner a moron. What does he do? He calls the bouncer and he bounces your ass out.
Now, if you want to bring up on Google, Brandon, seeing as you're up there sharing your screen, and just type in map length versus ground length, and show it to the audience. Maple versus what?
Sorry, my keyboard battery just died, and I'm having some problems here. Yeah.
Maple length versus ground length.
Maple,
No,
yeah.
sorry. You got it. You can just click that blue screen, the blue hyperlink. There you go.
All right.
So there you go. So map length is the straight line distance between the 2 points, and ground length is the distance including the terrain between 2 points. In other words, if you're on flat land, right? Flat land, the difference between map and ground length will be minimal. Well, you've just done an 850-mile test there, and there was only 1/10 of a mile difference. I'm going to say that's minimal.
I mean, that does pretty much spell it out right there, doesn't it? If you're on flat land.
Quite.
Huh.
Yes, not quite, but
Yeah, but I mean, it says it right there, Carlos. In other words, if you're on flat land, the difference between map and ground will be minimal.
right. But everybody's on the understanding that we're talking about a spherical Earth, and flat land we're referring as no terrain features as hills and valleys. So I don't know where Ranty's getting this thing that when they say terrain, that's including curvature. It's not including or excluding. All what they mean by flat land is no hills or valleys. So the length of the amount of, let's say, the length of the amount of distance you're gonna walk is not gonna change because it's flat. Unlike going down hills and up hills and down valleys, up the valley, yeah, that's gonna change. So if you have flat land and then the map length and flat land is gonna be very minimal difference.
Okay, Brandon, do you want to do something different? Go back to Google Earth and just
can I just say
scroll
something
out
in response to that?
Yeah, just one sec. Just
Okay.
clear off that line. You don't want that line up anymore. And what I want you to do now is, because you're going to be measuring from one side of the globe to the other side of the globe, right? From east to west. So just go to the far side on one side. To the other. You don't have to move it all the way around. Just click from one side.
From one side of what?
If you get a map up, get a line up.
Oh, you mean of this ball here?
Yeah.
One side of this? Okay.
Yeah, one side of the ball to the other side of the ball, right? So now we're not doing straight line. We're also doing the rest. Now look at, what does it say there? What's the difference?
Not much.
2 miles.
2 miles. Huh.
2 miles of difference around the globe, from one side to the other, right? As the crow flies, versus the ground floor length. Now, if you think that that's going to make any, if you think that that's a globe difference,
that basically just it connects exactly to what I was going to say anyway. With the other line, it's doing it here too. If the ground length is supposed to also be including terrain, that should be including your measurements going up and down hills and everything. You're telling me that in that, however long that line was, there's only around 2-ish miles of terrain where you would have to go up and down across, the whole east to west of that continent and in the ocean.
Yeah.
There's no more than 2-ish miles of up and down travel. Are you kidding me?
Well, it would cancel each other out for the most part, right?
Not if it's including that as part of your travel day. What it seems to be indicating is that ground one would include the terrain, which means if there's a mountain under that line, you have to go all the way up the mountain and come all the way back down the mountain. And all of that would count as part of your distance.
Yeah, you're right.
So going across that entire continent, are you telling me there's less than 3 miles of terrain change from one side of that globe all the way to the other as far as up and down? Bull crap.
Godzilla wants you to try it over the oceans from north to south. That might be interesting. Let's exclude the terrain. Let's remove the terrain and see what the map length versus the ground length turns up at.
All right, let's go to the Pacific Ocean here. We'll go right down here. And I'll start up here. And we'll go here. We'll see if the line shows up. There it is. Bam.
Barely any change.
Yeah, about 3 miles.
3 miles?
About that.
I wonder why there's more terrain there when you just went across.
Oh man, it's 3.36 miles, dude. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6, 6. What have you done? 33.6.
She'll confirm.
It's encoded. Yeah, this is weird, right?
How can you, right? So if anybody wants to, they can do this themselves, right? So if you've got an apple, let's say, or a golf ball or anything, right? And you get a straight line and you pull it from one side to the other, And then you get another piece of line and you wrap it around the globe, right, from top to bottom. And then you measure the two and you compare the two, the straight line distance versus the map distance, which would be around the circumference, right? The exterior of the globe. And I'm going to tell you, it'll be a lot more than 2 miles or 3 miles.
Yeah, let me see here. I got a little bit of Russia. Let me see if I can get just totally ocean here. You know what? I'll just start down here. We'll have to miss a part of the ocean or of the, yeah. I don't see any land under that. Maybe a small island. There we go. 2 miles. Huh.
Now, I don't know if anybody's got a little ball that they could do this on, or a piece of string, and just do it from one side to the other, and then do it, and then wrap it around, and have 2 pieces of string and compare, and see how much longer it should be when you're taking it across terrain, as opposed to as the crow flies in a straight line.
Yeah, no kidding. So it should give us a big number here, right? Let's try to go from the desert here. And there's some mountains in there somewhere, right?
What, 1 mile?
What the hell?
Yeah, man.
2 miles. Nothing there.
Nothing.
Huh.
Nothing there.
Nothing.
It's a joke, isn't it? It's a joke.
Yeah.
You still looking at Google Earth?
Look at that. Look at that. Grab as much terrain as you can and see how much it goes over as much terrain as possible.
Let's see. I'll go over here. That's from one side of the continent to the other, pretty much.
So that's what? Less than a mile.
Yeah, half a mile, something like that.
0.4 of a mile. 0.4 of a mile. Yeah, okay.
Find the big, what's the biggest mountain? Everest, is it, or whatever? What's the biggest mountain in the world?
Everest is the tallest. Yeah.
Find that. Just put a line that you make sure it goes over that mountain, and see if it adjusts at all for having to go up and down that mountain.
All right.
For ground length.
Let's see if I can find Mount Everest. There we go. All right, where is it? There it is. I'll go in a little. We'll get real close to it. Okay, we're on Mount Everest now. Get out of here. Stop it. All right, we'll go from one side of Everest to the other, all right?
Okay.
Down in the valley here. We'll go straight across the top of Everest.
It's like a 1/10 of a mile difference between going straight through Mount Everest and going over it. What the heck? What the heck?
Well, that can't be right.
You know why?
Yeah, no kidding.
You know why? Because obviously it's not built on a globe, is it? It's not a real globe model, this. It's a flat map.
Yeah.
It is a flat map.
Definitely a flat map.
Wow.
You should zoom out, see what shape it is.
Oh, they can make it look whatever shape they want, right?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just a cartoon. Sure, I'll zoom out. Well, it's just a cartoon. Just for fun, they made it look like a cartoon ball, but obviously the maps are flat. See, that's a cartoon. It is
Actually, no,
convenient
it's not
for
a
turning it around like that, you know, for having it digital. It is convenient. It would be nicer just to see it all spread out like it is in reality, to be honest, now that I think about it. To have the North Pole here and it all spread out.
Yeah, it's not convenient.
So what do you think's going on here, Carlos? Why is this tool not work, or?
I don't know. Quite frankly, I've just been listening. I can't really look at
Okay.
what y'all doing. Yeah, I guess we're busted. You know, I guess that's all I can say. Ranty. for the 30th time, Ranty has busted us.
Brandon, can you make that look a little bit more pear-shaped so Carlos doesn't get confused?
I don't know. I don't think it allows mods.
If you're gonna make it pear shaped, I will have to make sure there's no razor blades in it.
Does anybody know why Greenland? It comes down here below the what is this line? The Arctic Circle, right? A big part. It's all snow. At least that's how it looks on this map. Why is it that all this land isn't ice covered as well? Why isn't it all ice covered in here? Why is it just Greenland that is just like totally covered in ice?
Maybe it's because that other land has a slightly different angle to the sun, so it makes it a totally different environment.
Ah, okay, all right.
You know,
see the moon?
Because apparently that's a thing that happens.
Just seems like a weird incongruency, I guess. Well, that was a good one, Ranty. I like that.
Yeah, good stuff.
There's.
I thought it was interesting, and to be honest, if somebody actually wants to come in and demonstrate why this is incorrect, I'd love to hear it. You know, because it's something that I've noticed. The last couple of years, I'd say I've seen this.
And somebody coming in here declaring everybody else stupid and wrong is not the same as coming in and explaining why it's wrong. That's just someone coming in and calling other people names and saying they're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to come in and demonstrate it, maybe open up Google Earth yourself, maybe show us what we should be doing or what we aren't doing, maybe tell us why it's incorrect. Do that. That's far better than just coming in and ad homing and saying that you're just wrong. You're always wrong and I'm always right. Do you remember that's what he said?
Yeah, he said, just remember that. As long as you remember that, you'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I'm going to go 90 degrees here. We were doing this the other day, but I think this has something to do with the sunset angles. If I go 90 degrees from Australia, I get to Central America. That makes sense, doesn't it, guys? Huh. So you go 90 degrees.
Say that again. What is it?
If I go 90 degrees from Australia, I end up in Central America.
I got a little something I found on Google Earth in Greenland where all that white is, if you want to see it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'll explain what it is. Give me a second. I'll pull it up.
Okay. Yeah. So, 90 degrees that way is Central America. Let's say I want to go 90 degrees or 270 degrees, which would be east, right? Can we agree that's east? I think that's east. Let's see. Where do I end up if I go east from Australia? Africa. And eventually I'll get up to... it wants me to go the other way now. It looks like I'm headed to New York. The east coast of the United States is east of Australia. Right? That makes sense, doesn't it?
So we've got Toady that says something to do with the snap function. So something to do with take off the snap to surface function.
Okay. Did he mention how to do that?
No, unfortunately. let me have a quick Google of that.
Snap.
I like the elevation chart there. It tries to pretend water's curved.
Oh, does it?
Actually, yeah. I used it to try to test my 6-mile stretch from the Canada Boat Club to the Brittany Beach, and it wants to pop it up over the water as if the water's curved under it, and keep pushing straight with a curving ball under it. It's all algorithms they put in it when you're zooming and on the ground trying to look across at the horizon, all this shit. They have to mathematically and artificially add the graphic curves because it really is flat. But I put in a picture in the General Show channel and the news. And it's a picture from Google Earth that I cropped off in 2011. And if you present it, I'll sort of explain what it is.
Okay. 1 second here. Let me make it a good size here.
If you had to guess what that looks like, what would you say?
It looks like a piece of amber stuck in ice.
Or a bulldozer blade or something?
Yeah, I can see that. Okay.
Okay. Now, this is a piece of metal that revealed itself from the ice. The red line is 45 miles. Down to the ice is 12 miles, and this continues both ways, under the ice, both along the red line, farther north and south or whatever, and down below the snow for I don't know how far. But that plate is 45 miles by 12 miles. One single piece of iron, painted orange, no butt joints, no seams.
What?
One single sheet.
This was something that was found there, or?
In 2011, Google Earth captured it. And in the Google Earth capture, there are people around it in a close-up view on skidoos, sleds, everything, checking it out. And I don't see why it's not still on Google Earth. That type of thing just doesn't go away.
Yeah, interesting.
It's a cover-up.
I don't know what that is, but it's a huge piece of iron. I suspect it's 1,450 miles long by 250 miles wide, but I don't know exactly how deep.
Maybe it's a Brumpus's paper that he was been writing.
It's not the only one laid out around the surface of the Earth, so there are many more.
Looks like Rumpus printed out his paper finally. They found.
Well,
paper would have
it's not an
been
actually
too thin to hold all the ink he needed, so he had to put it on something harder, denser. Naturally, iron was the choice.
Is there any more on this, Jimbo?
Well,
I mean,
well, yeah, these plates. There's one runs the length of Alaska, north of Alaska. There's one off the coast of Quebec that runs all the way down to the Bahamas. Same type of steel plate. In fact, that steel plate off the Atlantic, when the tide comes north, it's what's blocking the water from going farther to the east. And it causes the really high tides in the Bay of Fundy and along the St. Lawrence River and stuff. It's the underwater topography along the Atlantic coast. There's one of these iron things that runs straight due north-south and goes all the way to the Bahamas or Bermuda. They're everywhere. They're on the front face of the Latin Americas, under Peru, Chile, going up that western shoreline, or western shoreline. There's smaller ones at Vanuatu. There's more up at in Russia, and two down by, what do you call it there, New Zealand, and out further to the west. So I kind of think it's laid out as a huge, well, cathode ray tube type of, almost a oscilloscope circuitry. It's a deflective circuit. If you look at all these rectangles and shapes on the Mayan, or not Mayan, the grooves in the ground at the Peruvian there, at the I forget what they call those lines in the sand, the Nazca lines.
Yeah.
A lot of those are rectangles and different shapes. The larger rectangles and some of those other shapes are where these plates are located. One is near Beluga Island, etc. You know, and the animals that are depicted, I don't know exactly totally why they're depicted, but anyway, the layout of these plates of iron is there, and as a technician, I look at it, and that's all you need to move the sun. It's like a cathode ray tube scanning, deflecting 11 miles a day north during our summer, and then going backwards 11 miles a day from the Tropic of Capricorn, they call it, to the Tropic of Cancer. 11 miles a day. Our crops ripen 11 miles a day. We harvest them 11 miles north-south every day. You know, there might be something to this Pac-Man type sun situation where it gets cut off, like in a cathode ray tube. There's a flyback killer switching.
Yeah.
And the instant it's gone in the west, it reappears in the east, just like a circuit would have flyback killers and other things programmed in. We are on a construction.
We are on a construction. That's what you're
based.
saying. That's what it's boiled down to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I'll buy that.
Manufactured and it's controlled. It's no accident.
No. Is there any more information out there about these giant metal slabs?
I worked with FPV Angel, One Conscious, you know, a bunch of people that do some really interesting stuff, no question. And way back about 2 years ago, I did the part where, well, you know, knowing the electrical circuitry, you know, I can fix TVs, anything, you know. I looked at the layout and figured it was basically cathode ray tube circuit with everything a CRT would have. Horizontal trace, vertical flyback, you know, everything. Horizontal trace killer, everything's in there. You have to give it a little push, if you will. There's a term for that there, but basically you give it a push and then it moves across. Like, anyway, it basically boils down to a cathode ray circuit, just like in a TV that's pushing the sun along from below. I have about a 10-minute clip where I sort of explain how these plates, where they are, and how they basically function to move our sun across the plane. But again, you know, I often have a hard time getting a place to, you know, give an ear without, you know, am I getting sort of attacked or anyway, before I'm even finished something, interruption, etc., you know. But anyway, these plates are not rare. They're systematically distributed around, well, over the plane, and the size they are, you know, imagine a metal boat near Bermuda, whatever, and one of these plates is turned on. Boats are metal. These are magnets when they're charged. You know, that could explain some ships sinking and maybe even planes, you know, having problems sometimes. But I'm sure the authorities know about these things and their magnetic properties and where they are. We're just finding out because they hide it after. Here's a plate. It's 45 miles by 12 miles. It's discovered in, what, 2011 or before. Anyone ever hear of it? Hell no. If you found something man-made 45 miles wide by 12 miles, a single piece of steel, you'd think that would be news. You'd think the whole world would stop and say, hey, what the hell is this? And think of it. That's 45 miles by 12 miles been spray painted. A caution color, just like we would do today. You know, you got a metal fence or something and it's dark, people can't see it at night. You have to put reflective paint or a bright paint on it, right? Up to make it safer so people don't drive through it, you know? Well, you know how much paint that is? In a can, you get, what, 600 to 800 square feet per gallon. This is 45 miles by 12 miles, and there's more under the sand and under the snow in all directions. It's ridiculous.
You got that? Is a 10-minute video, Jimbo? You got a link to it or anything that we can share for people that are interested?
It's on FPV's site. It's called. Well, I'll find the name of it. I only do about 10 minutes in that one there for the Nazca Alliance, but I can find it and post it if you want.
Yeah, that'd be cool, and I'll post it in the chat too, and maybe give me a timestamp where your part is if it's not too much trouble, or if the whole thing is worth watching, I'll just post the link. Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah, if there's these giant metal things, I'd definitely like to know more about that. And I have no doubt in my mind that's a possibility that this whole place could be constructed for whatever purpose. I've talked about that before. But anyway, who did we have join? Aaron, what are you doing, Aaron? Working? No, not there. Okay. Anyway,
I was going to say that Toady didn't get back to us, unfortunately, to tell us about this snap tool. So I actually Googled it and I can't find it either. So I think maybe it might have been a false lead. Just telling us that there was one, that we were doing it wrong, because ultimately we weren't doing it wrong. So I might be wrong, but he hasn't, as I say, he hasn't spoken up, and I can't find the remove snap function, snap surface function. So yeah.
No, I looked through here too, and I didn't see anything that even looked close to something like that. Show navigation. There's just nothing.
No.
Explore. What is this? Mars? Huh? What the hell?
That's quite a problem, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think that is got to be explained. How come they don't take the curvature into account? What if you needed to know that information, say for, I don't know, surveying or building stuff? I don't know. No one seems to care about the curvature. Who should care about it? That's what boggles my mind. Pilots? You would think planes would need to worry about the curving or the spinning of the Earth, but they don't. They just pretend it's flat and stationary and fly over it, go about their business, never having to worry about the fact that they're on a giant spinning ball.
Did you take the water off them?
This is Mars.
This is Mars, right? Okay.
Yeah, this is Mars. Yep. You can measure Mars if you got a trip plan to Mars. You can map it out on here.
Where's the best places to go? I mean, I'm having a look around there, and I'm thinking,
let's see.
Prime real estate. You know,
where will you die quickest if you go? Probably right here. It looks really cold and deadly right there. I would go there if I was going to visit Mars. Pretty sure I wouldn't want to live on this hunk of nothingness, if that's what it is.
You know, isn't it that, this isn't the place that it rains diamonds, though, is it? No, that's somewhere else, isn't it? Somewhere else it rains diamonds.
Yeah, no.
Saturn or Neptune, one of those.
Yeah, something like that. And then there's another place where it rains gold, is it, or something? You know, I mean.
Under the rainbow, right? Under the rainbow.
It looks like they do have like a planetarium here and an arena and some hiking paths. So that might be cool to visit right here, Ranty.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you'd get some good land there, good real estate for cheap?
Yeah.
There's people there. There's Martians there.
Yep.
The green Martians. In the center.
Hey, you guys,
right in the center there.
Sorry, Randy. You
just
guys are
right,
laughing.
Just to the right. But... Go right. There. Down. No. There. Green Martians there.
Oh, yeah. These guys right here. Yeah. This is the hiking trail.
They're Martian hikers.
Zoom in on that. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the zooming in.
All right. Let's see what that is. All right. Certus Major. Why are these guys here?
They're green moon men.
Must have been a lucky. It's a lucky find, I think.
I don't know why that's there. That's weird. Certus Major.
Hey, there's the face.
Yeah, that was a neat trick they did, getting everybody to argue over that. Let's see.
You know, they do say there is a moon, or is it a planet that it rains diamonds? Isn't it one of the moons on Venus or something?
Oh yeah,
They do say that with a straight face.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some
I think
sand dunes.
I think it's Uranus.
There's a planet that only grows marijuana. There's a planet.
There's diamonds coming out of Uranus.
yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, Uranus has stinky gas coming off it.
And they believe it, man. That's the killer of it all. Somebody told them there's a planet that rains diamonds, and they said, yeah.
P.T. Barnum said it best, there's one born every minute, and he was referring to a sucker.
What about you, GPS? You think it rains diamonds on Uranus? Or Phil? They're in chat. Deep within Neptune and Uranus, it rains diamonds. Holy shit, it was Uranus.
Let me have a look. Rains diamonds. On Saturn, Neptune, Uranus.
So there's 3 of them?
Yeah, we were all right.
Man, I got to keep up. I got to keep up.
Oh, dear me. Right, okay. What else does it do? I mean, if you could get a rocket ship to go up there and just collect those diamonds, you'd be pretty rich, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, a diamond collecting net, you're set.
Problem is, it would collapse the diamond market, and
absolutely same as turning lead to gold.
Deep within Uranus, it rains diamonds.
Don't laugh too hard.
They must take acid before they write these articles or drink cough syrup or something.
Deep within Uranus, it rains.
Come on, man. They're fucking with us.
Yeah, it used to be Scientific American wasn't a joke magazine. They really had some good stuff, and they even had an amateur scientist section that every month had real good stuff you could do. Practically, you know, but it's not the same no more. Idiocracy has taken over.
So I wonder how deep they have to go.
They only got to 8 miles, Ranty.
It's like Mel Brooks. It's like as if Mel Brooks in his potty humor for his movies was writing for NASA. Mel, are you working for NASA scripting now? Please respond.
Well, it must get boring, photoshopping pictures of the Earth.
They can always YouTube some porn or, worldporn or something.com and just, have a break, eh? Most civil servants do. They're allowed so much time for pornography, and as long as they don't exceed certain quantities of it, So funny. Oh, in the United States, if you buy your sex toys and aids, they're usually tax deductible. Silicone vaginas, penises, vacuum pumps for penises, other important stuff you can get deducted. Maybe not so much on your medicine and other stuff, but if you buy your sex toys and everything, they're tax deductible in the U.S.
What the hell? My account didn't tell me about that.
What's up with all seriously the ass references? So Uranus, we've got black holes, we've got anomalies. I mean, we could probably go on forever.
You started that Uranus thing, Aaron.
Analimas, huh, Aaron?
Yeah.
Analema, yeah. Analema.
Listen to this, though. Although we've been limited by spacecraft and ground-based telescopes regarding how much we can learn about the exteriors of Uranus and Neptune, advances in laboratory simulations are enabling remarkable new insights about what's happening in their interiors. Uh-huh.
Maybe they can use the same technology here on Earth to see what's going on deeper than 8 miles, sorry.
Or once you're in, open up some villas. There's
Can you
chili
check real quick,
inside
Brandon,
the intestines? Open up some villa.
Can you check real quick, Brandon, for the name of the probe that?
It's an anal probe, of course.
The probe that's doing something with Uranus.
Okay. Probe sent to Uranus. Let's see what I get back here.
This ought to be good.
To your oops.
Are there cauliflower moons that dangle from Uranus, I wonder?
Oh boy, guys.
Cauliflower-shaped moons that break off, like moon nuggets. Anyway, one day we'll hear about those too.
just type this in: probing deep inside Uranus, and see what the first one that comes up. I tell you, it's so funny.
They're taking a fudge bath on it.
Probing deep inside Uranus.
Probing deep
inside Uranus.
Inside Uranus. Oops. Uranus. Oh my gosh.
NASA.
NASA wants to probe deep inside Uranus in search of smelly gas.
It might be more fun than piss drinking for them.
Make this stuff up.
Give me a break, man. What the hell? Oh boy.
Oh, this is unbelievable.
Scientists stunned the world this year with the revelation that Uranus actually does smell like farts.
Wow, man. I hope the ballers are listening.
I mean, come on, Phil. Can't you see that they're messing with you, man? Give me a break. What was the other one?
He drives a nice car, so it doesn't matter. He'll believe what they want him to believe and profess it as long as he gets to keep his nice car. He's a material girl, like Madonna's a material girl. Because he's living in a material world and he is a material boy.
NASA rumored to be about to probe deeper than ever into Uranus.
Well, here on Earth, we've got these probes that go 25 feet in, so I don't know if they can top that, really. But our basic anal probes can make their way in 25 feet for anyone who's interested. It's a long, long way to Tipperary.
These headlines are funny.
Is that rings around Uranus right there?
These guys must have so much fun writing these articles. I mean, look at this, though.
Sorry to interrupt you, ladies and gentlemen. We just found another ring around your anus.
Made of diamonds.
Yeah.
Look at this planet.
And there are Klingons around Uranus too, you know, so keep your phasers set to stun.
Look at this silly picture, too. That's convincing, huh?
Wow.
Is there a better picture of Uranus?
That looked like a blue anus.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a Blanus.
I think the problem here is we're looking at a Smurf.
Yeah.
LOL.
Hey, fake. Is any of
The
this
one with the Earth in it is real. It could not be not real.
Where's a real picture of Uranus? Honestly. This is NASA. This is what NASA tells us it looks like. I mean, we can see it in telescopes, can't we?
You'd swear it was a water
has been enhanced. Color added, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh?
Can I see a half cheek? I mean, why do we always get the full moon or full view? Right? Let me see a half.
What time is it? I mean, honestly, though, this is pretty sad here.
Why?
Could you imagine going to a to a observatory or something and saying, knocking on and just saying, "Can I see Uranus?" Can you show me
How old are we
Uranus?
here? 13?
Right this way, sir. All the way to the left.
I don't want to look at Uranus.
What about this, Ranty? Have you seen Uranus?
Ranty, nobody will ever explore Uranus.
Yeah, I want to explore Uranus.
Oh, we can send probes to Uranus if you like.
Wasn't there that
Guys
great
are horrible.
astronaut and captain named Glasscock who probed Uranus? It is a family name, Glasscock, and that's who I would
Jimbo,
send to
you went
probe
too far.
Uranus.
Too far, Jimbo. No pun intended. Too far. You went too far.
You tell the Glasscock families that.
All right, guys. Well, it's about that time. I think I'm gonna wrap up here.
Oh, good.
I think we've had we beat that dead horse for a long time. It was fun though. Let's start off with Carlos. Carlos, final thoughts?
I can't top whatever was just spoken about, but no, fun stuff, man. I need to deliver on what I told Travis I was gonna do, and yeah, and I guess I need to also do a better job explaining David Weiss's blurry son. So anyway, thank you, Ranty, for being welcoming to the opposing view, and for you guys being civil. You have a good night. See you next time.
Yeah, thanks, Carlos. Jimbo.
Be there or be sphere. I just made it for the tail end of the show, but I'm sure it was good, and be back for another one later. More to come, I hope. Enjoy. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Cool. Thanks, Jimbo. Aaron.
I just caught the tail end of Uranus, and there was a shitload of it. So, cheers, Carlos, for hanging out and actually, making jokes and shit. It's fucking Friday, so yeah, I'm here to listen in.
Cool, thanks. Ranty.
Hey. Yeah. Thanks for holding the show down. It's been great. Enjoyed it tonight, and yeah, I'm going to do a show tomorrow. Actually, special. With it being Halloween, why not? Nothing else to do, and if any of you guys want to hop on and be a part of that show, I'll be starting about 10 o'clock. So that'll be an hour after Brandon normally starts his show. So there we go.
Awesome. I'm sure everybody will be looking forward to that. Cool. Rob.
You don't understand.
Thank you for reminding me. Rumpus said it earlier, but
Okay.
I appreciate the reminder.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Great show, Brandon. And thanks again, Carlos, for hanging out with us.
Hell yeah.
That's all I got.
Thanks, Rob. SE.
Yeah, another good show. Shout out, Ranty. Good to see you're up and about and laughing, bro. You too, Brandon. Good show, bro. And Carlos, of course. I just want to say one thing. There's a lot of things in this world that we're not sure of. But one thing I'm absolutely 100% sure of, nobody ever that ever walked this earth knows what the sun is and what it's made of. Peace out, everybody.
All right. Thanks, SE. Bob.
Yeah, I think that thing that Ranty brought up is interesting. I think there's some explaining that needs to happen if Google Earth is indicating that it would be the same distance to walk over the mountain as it would be to walk through the mountain. That seems pretty ridiculous. I was going to say something else too, and now I forgot what it was. Huh. Well, anyway. I think that's interesting, and I would like an explanation, from somebody other than Rumpus, because Rumpus doesn't seem interested in giving real explanations. He comes in here and makes noise and yells at people and all that crap. So if somebody has like an actual legitimate explanation or possibility, that would be nice.
That would be cool. All right. Thanks, Bob. All right. My final thoughts. Thanks, guys. It was a fun week, and looking forward to Ranty's show tomorrow. That'll be awesome. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please go ahead and hit it right now. And you can catch the after show. I'll probably publish it sometime tomorrow on my channel, Brandon Toy, on YouTube. And head on over there and probably get quite a few more hours between the last few shows to watch if you get bored or you want to watch some more. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. All right. Well, good show. Thanks everybody for stopping by. The chat looked like it was fun. And yeah, it's always good when Ranty stops by. So we'll probably talk to most of you tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be on the other side of the microphone in the chat with you guys. So look forward to that. Have a good night, and thanks for everything, guys.